part of this show we want to do is give some value to our audience, right? And so I have a couple questions I got written down here for you. And then this part will be a little bit faster just because for time's sake here, right? So one of the things that a lot of people want to know was, or a lot of people have, is what would be like your biggest hurdle getting started?
My biggest hurdle getting started, I think, was just not having getting started like in the union part of it. Really was just not having the connections and not really knowing like what door to go to first. You know what I mean? And really, I mean, I think the biggest hurdle was that, but the biggest thing that got me past that hurdle, which is what we've talked about, is just like, okay, I don't know where I'm going to start, but I know I'm going to go somewhere. And so it really is just time to pick up the lunch pail and go start pounding on doors.
So
and
it was literally the action of starting.
Yeah, just the action
like
of starting,
having to go and do the old school door-to-door method, if you will, right?
Yeah, just to get started, you know?
Yeah, what advice would you give your first year apprenticeship self, looking back now?
I think the advice that I'd give my first year self is just, you know, it takes time, kid. You know what I'm saying? I remember coming in so hungry, and I'm still hungry. That's never left, but I wanted it all so fast, you know, and just letting myself know, like, hey, this is a process. This is this industry is really complex. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so just reminding myself, like, hey, it doesn't come overnight.
Stay in it.
Yep, stay in it. You really need to learn like the ropes of this in order to get it. So just being patient, man. It all comes with time.
Yeah, and I'd add on to that, folks, that you got to master the details, the little details. The little details are the disciplines that matter the most.
Yeah, that's the biggest one.
Yeah. So give me 3 things that, as us that are people that are performing the work, right? Like the hammers.
Yeah.
Not the guys ordering the hammers, but the hammers themselves.
The guys the boots on the ground.
What are 3 things that we could do better?
I think in the field, you know, some of the things that we can do better is, you know, I guess speaking from like a foreman aspect in the field is the effective communication with the crews. You know what I mean? Just effectively communicating what it is that you want and what it is that we're doing, and letting them know the big picture. So that way we're working through these processes and we're not doing it 2-3 times and spending more money. Right. You know what I mean? So I think communication is a huge one, and I think consistency is another one.
So show up and do the same kind of work every day. Don't give me half one day. Or
a crew wants to have a leader that is effectively communicating what it is that he needs, what it is that he wants, and that he's consistently showing, you know, painting the picture, and that he's consistently, you know, showing the crew the expectations. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then
so leading by example.
Yeah. You know, that's the huge one. And then and you know, really the biggest one, really at the end of the day, you know, is just the overall, you know, want to get your crew home safe. You know, that's really what it comes down to. We're all there to make money and to provide for our families and to have a good time too. You know,
so you would say just try to be mindful of the whole objective, regardless of everything going on. Is to go home at the end of the day.
And know your crew.
Yeah,
you know your crew, so that way you can get them home safe at the end of the day. So
that takes actually getting to know your people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Taking the time to have a little conversation.
Absolutely.
Not be that stagnant leader that's distant or won't talk or
right.
Keeping it professional, but
you know, and knowing what everyone's wants and needs are, what their fears are, what they're afraid, you know, what they're best at, and putting people in the right place. Right. You know, it's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, that's incredible advice, dude.
Yeah,
very very sound. So, with that, let me ask you this, because then we're gonna move on from these questions, because we're gonna get to the cool part, the Barbarian brief.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I got 2 more questions for you. Okay, what is a blue collar barbarian to you?
A blue-collar barbarian to me is somebody who's gritty and just wanting to get it and battle through whatever barriers are in their way, and somebody who just really wants, like, to completely reform what it is that they're currently facing. You know what I mean? Like, this is where I'm at. This isn't where I want to be, and I don't know where I'm going to go, but I know I'm going to take this first step. And I'm going to show up every day, and I'm going to be the best I can be, and I'm going to do it with grit. I'm going to do it with grime, and I'm hungry. and I'm here to win. I'm here to win.
I'm here to win.
Yeah.
Whatever that takes.
I'm here, bro. You know what I mean?
At the end of the day.
And that's what I think of. You know what I mean? When I hear the blue collar barbarian, is just, I'm here to get it, bro.
Yeah. And nothing will stand in my way.
Nothing's in my way.
Nothing.
Not nothing.
So and this is my last question, what's your biggest goal and dream then? Like, what is it for you?
Man.
Give me something if life's good, right? So you guys, for context, you guys are going to see me flying on my Barbarian's jet.
Yeah.
Be picking up the homies, going to steak.
Yeah.
So how do we, what's that to you? What's your dream?
Man, I think my biggest dream, obviously I've got the dreams where, I want to be on the beaches and I want to have the homes and I want to have the views and I hear the waves crashing. But I think something for me, that's going to bring me the most pride and joy in life is just seeing my kids win, you know what I mean? And really standing in the crowd, while my boy's running for that touchdown or, while my daughter's receiving that gold medal or, you know what I mean? I think those are going to be the most cherished moments for me in life. And hopefully when that comes, we've got some beach houses, we've got some cabins, we've got some toys, and we're just enjoying life, man, because we don't got forever, bro.
We don't.
And these kids
tomorrow is
quick,
never
man.
promised.
It ain't promised, man.
Never.
So
you would say your dream would be just to be able to really be present.
Yeah, just to be exactly. I think that's the biggest thing is just to have the time to be able to be present as much as I want to be. With my family, and just really have the time to just invest with them and create the memories and see them win. You know what I mean?
I want to see my people win
because
too.
As I see them win, and it just feels me that much more to go out and go get it and make a beautiful life for them. So
well, I would say, Brandon, you're leading by example.
Thank you, brother.
I would definitely say that you're setting a tone.
And it's people like you, bro. I look up to you a lot, man. I do, bro.
I appreciate that.
Like a brother, man.
Yeah, likewise. So listen, thank you for your time on this.
Oh, absolutely,
man.
That
was so cool to have you.
Thanks for having me, bro.
There's a really cool part of this show we get to do where we get to highlight somebody that does something barbaric.
Okay.
This is the Barbarian breed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is my
Let's do
my cup of tea. And today's story I want to tell you is a personal one to me.
Okay.
And it's about my buddy. His name is Derek Depew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know I've talked to you about Derek.
Yeah.
And he owned this company back in the day. I've done a lot of business with Derek in the outdoor industry. Derek is a police officer in the Chicago suburbs or one of the little communities out that way.
Okay.
And a couple of years back, he was on duty making an arrest on a gentleman that was all strung out on heroin or something. And the dude fled the car, running away from him. He's in pursuit. The dude's chick was driving the car. Puts the car in drive, chases him down the alley.
Wow.
And runs him over.
Wow.
Targets him.
Got him. It hit him.
Drilled him.
Oh, my God.
Crushed him. Boom. Ran him over.
Wow.
Chased him down an alley and ran him over. Crushed him. And I remember when I heard about this at first, it was like me and Derek, we talk a lot, but we could go a few days without talking. I remember I hadn't heard from him 4 or 5 days. I was like, I called him and he randomly answered. He called me and he was kind of shook up. I'm like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, bro, I got ran the fuck over. Damn. I'm in the hospital. They don't know if I'm going to walk again. They're telling me I may not. I got a big road ahead of me. Thanks for calling, but I'm going to be kind of hard to get to. I don't know when I'm going to be out of the hospital. So long story short, Derek got ran over by this lady, crushed. They tell him, and mind you, he's got a kid and a wife. Right? Yeah. And they tell him, we're not sure if you're going to be able to walk again. And we're sorry, but woohoo, you're a hero, essentially.
Wow.
And he made local news where he lives and all this crazy shit. And the reason I want to highlight Derek in this barbaric thing is because they told him no more. Never hey, you're not probably going to be able to do a lot of different things in your life and shit, right? So it got pretty touch and go, and he went to some really dark spots. And I'm not going to put his business out there, but I know as a veteran myself and as somebody that's been through some different stuff or traumatic stuff, that depression and dark and being down and out and not being able to do anything about it, it can be a bear.
Yeah, man. I could only imagine, bro.
A real bear.
I could only imagine.
So Derek Depew goes from not knowing if he's ever going to walk again, coming back through it. They were trying to medically retire him. He gets shook around by the police force, all this shit. Workman's comp comes back, has a doctor that doesn't give a shit about him. When he's about to be retired, he's already wrestling with the idea of retiring because the whole reason he's a police officer is to serve his community.
Yeah.
That's all he cares about. He feels like the sense of service to people.
Right.
So he's not sure he's even going to get that. He's trying to transition. He's going through all this medical shit. He's going through depression. He's battling. He does 75 hard.
Yes.
Completes it.
Yes.
Does just, I don't know,
That's
completes
incredible,
75. After being ran over.
Yeah.
So he gets to so much for not walking. The dude starts walking again. He completes 75 hard before me, right? And then that's not where he stops. That's not where he's already at. Then he gets screwed over by workman's comp and all this other stuff, and I'm not putting his business out there. And he goes from about to be retired and trying to figure out all that to where one doctor in the workman's comp says, no, you can go back to work out of nowhere.
Wow.
Like literally he's going to retirement medical appointments. Done. Separated. And they tell him, guess what? This doctor, whatever reason, said your back's not messed up enough to retire you, so you're back to full duty.
Wow.
Messed up.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
Out there on his own.
That's crazy.
So he goes from not walking to barely walking to doing 75 hard, claiming his life back, just battling through depression and all this other demons and all these other dark places, comes up out of it, and then gets kicked in the nuts again, and they take away his retirement just as he's starting to adjust to the idea of being able to move on to what he wants to do, right?
Yeah, man.
But he doesn't let that defeat him. He doesn't bite the bullet.
No.
Know what he does?
He
becomes an animal.
Yeah.
And he starts taking on challenges. This dude not only completed 75 hard, he did 1,000 push-ups in 59 minutes and 46 seconds on a whim. He saw a challenge. He saw a challenge on the TV, or he saw his challenge on one of his social medias from friends that were doing 1,000 push-up in a day contest. He said he looked over at his wife on the couch and said, looks like I got an hour left, so I better get to work. And he starts cranking out push-ups. Says he does 20 push-ups every 20 push-ups every 30 seconds for 8 minutes straight to start. Right?
That's muscle failure.
Muscle failure. So he ends up doing 1,000 push-ups in 59 minutes and 46 seconds. He did an assault bike challenge where he rode an assault bike for 100 miles.
Okay.
In one sitting.
Jeez.
100 miles in one sitting on an assault bike. He just recently completed a tactical games. The tactical games, which is a physical monster. Do you think he did that at the entry level?
No.
This dumbass goes right below the top tier. I don't know if I can go straight to the top tier, so I'll take it a step below. And he goes and he competes and he finishes it.
Atta boy.
He didn't. He might not have podiumed or whatever, but he went and he got gritty and he finished.
Man,
so
that's incredible.
Derek Depew from ran over, never gonna walk again, being drugged down, kicked in the balls again by medical professionals messing with him.
Yeah.
And he can't be beat. The dude comes back, he physically challenges himself, and you know what? I'll be the first to tell you, the whole reason I do all this shit, like doing 1,000 push-ups in an hour and a half, because I'm not this beast as him, is because he set that standard and that tone. And that dude is a barbarian. Insert the Barbarian, Derek Depew.
Shout out, bro.
Dude, you are a hero, and thank you for your service to your community.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for the inspiration, your mentorship, your friendship. Sir. And thank you for giving us something to talk about, positive, and in this world, fucking barbarian.
Absolutely, man. And keep setting the bar, bro.
Yeah.
We're all watching.